Question of the week. What is the balance in your bank account? What's it looking like? You feeling good about it? You probably just tensed up a little bit, thrown off a bit with that question, and you probably think I'm crossing the line. But calm down, because today on Thirsty Thursdays with a Therapist, where we quench the thirst in your relationships, I'm talking about your emotional bank account, your relationship bank account. What is that looking like? I have read this in different literatures and different modalities within psychotherapy, this analogy of your relationship essentially being a bank account. And I think it's an awesome, awesome metaphor, and I wanted to talk about it today with you. And so what exactly, how Jaleisha, is my relationship comparable to my bank account? Well, you have to think about it like this. We are constantly putting in deposits or taking withdrawals from our bank account. So if we liken that to our relationship, we are making deposits all the time, sometimes mindlessly, sometimes intentionally. Kind acts, gestures. It might be something as simple as making your partner coffee in the morning. It might be doing a chore that you know your partner hates. It could be simply keeping your word, following up with things that you're supposed to do, keeping up with expectations that you've agreed upon, keeping commitments, being on time, showing interest, being an active listener, empathizing, apologizing, saying you're sorry, having self-awareness. All of those things are adding deposits to your relationship bank account, essentially. Why do you need to be putting in deposits on a regular daily basis? Because at some point you're going to need to take a withdrawal. At some point you're going to take a withdrawal without even realizing that you're doing it. It might be you coming home in a bad mood and kind of shutting down on your partner. That's a withdrawal. It might be you really losing your cool and maybe getting a little disrespectful, which is not okay at all. It might be having a really nasty argument that escalates into a place where you just completely lost it and both of you are feeling exhausted, depleted, misunderstood, and even further disconnected than you did before the conflict began. Those sort of things take withdrawals, okay? And the reason that we need to constantly be putting deposits into our relationships is because things are gonna hit us. We're going to have arguments. We're going to have moments where we miss each other. We're going to have moments where we feel dismissed, ignored, not loved, uncared for. And not to say that those things are reality, but if you don't have a full bank account, if you don't have that cushion, that buffer, then you are going to have a much harder time trying to heal those wounds if you're in the red. You don't want to be in overdraft and then get hit with some sort of crisis and you're trying to stay connected, manage the situation, self-care, self-soothe, be supportive to your partner, and you barely have enough money in the bank to just get through your regular day, like just regular day-to-day functioning. So it's so important that we recognize the impact that our actions and behaviors have on our relationship bank account, how important it is to constantly be putting in those deposits. And when I'm talking about a crisis hitting you, or you may be going through a rough patch, I'm talking about transitions, having a child, moving, the loss of a job, the loss of a parent. I'm talking about life throwing things at you that you didn't even know was coming. That is why it is so important to constantly have these deposits, to have the money overflowing, the love overflowing, so to speak, so that when things like that happen, you have enough, so that when you take that withdrawal, you are not in the red, and your relationship, energy, love, support is not on red, and you're not running on fumes, essentially. So I hope you guys got something out of that, and I want to try to help you get some other ideas of what deposits might look like. So tune in to the next Thirsty Thursdays with a Therapist, where I'm going to be talking about a phrase that's been coined by Dr. Gottman, who's a relationship therapist and expert who's done a ton of research, long-term research on studying couples and what helps them stay together and what he predicts will cause them to separate at some point. And one thing that he says is super, super important is turning towards your partner. Turning towards your partner versus turning away, especially in times of stress or crisis. And so I want to talk more about turning towards, what that looks like, and how that connects very closely to what we talked about today as far as making deposits into your relationship love bank account. So if you guys have questions, comments, thoughts, I'd love to hear them. Post below. Also, if you are not already a subscriber, you're watching this, can you please subscribe to my YouTube channel? Just hit the subscribe button really quick. You're here right now, I'm assuming. So subscribe, share it with a friend. If you're enjoying this, I would love to know. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, share it with a friend, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys on the next Thirsty Thursdays where we were talking about turning towards instead of away. Bye.